What's up, everybody? Hit that live on the Instagram. Woo! This is the Boxing Rush Hour show. It's Friday. This is the live edition. I'm one of your hosts, Abe Gonzalez, and the co-host is Zachary Ochoa,
What's
and
going on?
we're here for the shenanigans. What's good, my guy?
I don't know, man. Listen, first of all, one day is winter, spring gets skipped. It's like spring got skipped, and now it's summertime. Shit's killing me. I got allergies, all type of shit going on. It's crazy. I got people fucking waving Puerto Rican flags everywhere. It's not even Puerto Rican Day parade yet. I don't know. I'm hearing things. What's going on, man? I got people
Oh,
crying because their son don't listen to them.
oh
Because
my
of the
gosh.
yeah. I got a lot of stuff going on.
And I tell you, man, uh, it's something, boy. It's something. Man, I spent the whole day yesterday in San Diego. It was a dope day. It was Ryan Garcia's workout, and we're gonna get into all of that. Um, but yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful Southern California. We're gonna gonna get into some announcements that happened, some deals that got done. I had a couple of I had a little bit of a conversation with Oscar De La Hoya. We were kicking it. And something that people don't understand is, especially like the content creators on the YouTube side, there's like a time and place for everything. Um and there was a moment there where like Oscar just wanted to talk. Like he didn't he wasn't about like you have to kind of feel out the moment. And the moment
Yeah.
wasn't, yo, let me pull out the camera and start recording. Like he just wanted to have a conversation. And in that conversation, we talked about a gang of stuff. And it was just like, now obviously I had the audio recording on, but um it's a different type of vibe, right? Because you're not like concentrating on what you're saying because the camera's like right there. You just kind of going with it. And so it was myself and Lance Pugmire from Boxing Scene and Charles Conwell, who
Nice.
fights tomorrow. And
Okay.
we were sitting at the table chopping it up, chopping it
Wow.
up. His VP or operations president, I think, Marilyn, she came over like
She's the
try to like
best.
grab him. Yeah, she's dope person. She was trying to,
I've known her for years, and before she was just like his assistant. Now she's like
yeah.
she's 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 with him at all times. She's
Yeah, and so
top dog.
she was trying to grab him away from the table a little bit, and he was like, "Hey, we just talking shop here." And then she kind of went away, and Jane, who's a dope PR person for them, she came over like 20
Yep,
minutes later.
Jane too. She's good. Yeah.
She was like, "Yo, Oscar, we got everybody else waiting for you over there." He's like, "Oh, okay," and then he ended up leaving, but we had some great conversations, and we'll get into all of that. What's going on with you, man? How are things? I just posted it on X, and let me see if we got anybody on IG yet. There's a couple of folks joining on IG. Shout out to them. What's good, Zach? What's going on? What's on your mind?
Nothing, man. Just chilling out. Been spending a lot of time with my son. Making sure he's good. Spending time with the family. Getting a lot of things done, man. Real busy right now. So, just staying in shape. So you know how that
Y-
go. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny you should say that because I have a thing with my son at his school today. They got like a picnic thing at lunchtime. So, this worked out for us kind of getting it in early. So,
Nice.
um listen, let's just get right into last week's fight, right? Um Actually, you know what, before that, and I don't think we touched on this the last podcast. But rest in peace, George Foreman, man.
Rest in
Rest
peace,
in
George.
peace, George Foreman. Man, what careers he had, right? He had his first career, then his second career, then his like like polarizing pop culture career as just a celebrity. Man, and this is a guy, the last couple years I would talk to like once a month. Once a month I'd call him, and just kind of chop it up. Sometimes it'd be for the fight predictions, other times it'd just be to say what's up. And he always, always, always picked up the phone. Or if he didn't pick up the phone, he'd call me back like the
Nice.
next day.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Hey, yesterday I didn't want to like deal with anything because I was busy. So I'm returning everybody's calls today." And that's the type of guy he was, man. Um, Big George, unfortunately, he passed away at the age 76. Um, what is one of the things that will stand out to you, or a couple of things that will stand out to you about George Foreman when you think about his life?
When I think about George Foreman, I always think about, the time when he did get stopped by Ali, and then he went away, and then came back. And when he came back, he came more with a lot more wisdom, a lot more patience, a lot more technical too. There was a point in he was way older, and Jim Lampley was one of the voices of that moment when he knocked out Michael Moore, and it was like just such a perfect little technical move in the jab that he just walked with the uppercut, just boom, just dropped. Like it's like George Foreman to me was just basically the example of like a straight monster puncher. He hits you, you're going. He would put dents in the bag. He would, and people got to do this. I seen a lot of people posting George Foreman stuff when he passed away, but when they were posting George Foreman stuff, they were mostly posting George like Muhammad Ali like stuff. You gotta guys gotta separate that. Of course they fought and everything, but you gotta separate that because George Foreman had his own all-time great career. Multiple heavyweight world champion. You understand? This guy did things that nobody else was doing. And of course, he did fight one of the greatest, which is Muhammad Ali. And George, man, great fighter. Named all his kids George. Great guy. And rest in peace to George Foreman, man. And
Yeah,
the
and the
grill.
grill that made him a gazillion dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what's up. All right, we're gonna go right into Jerron Boots Ennis versus Imantas Stanionis last Saturday in Atlantic City. Um, Man, Stanionis got smoked, man. And I was not sure that would happen. I thought it was gonna be a lot more competitive fight based on the fact that I didn't really um
Him in the gym.
see what I saw Saturday, right? I mean, yeah, I didn't see what I saw Saturday in previous fights. But one thing that stood out to me when I saw him get smoked is something that you had mentioned, where Boots had gotten a nutritionist, and I can see immediately the difference between the last like two fights and this fight with regards to energy level and how and how he rehydrated. Also, it probably helped that he didn't have to
Yep,
reweigh in
yep.
within the 10 pounds with the IBF too. So I just saw that. But man, he looked very impressive. Very, very impressive. I know that people were quick to be like, hey, he should be on pound for pound. And I kind of sent that out to, because I'm on the Ring Magazine rankings, and sent it out to other folks. Was like, hey, do you think I just want to put it out there. Do you think he should go number 10, and remove maybe Devin Haney? And they was like, well, not yet. And I can understand that because after really thinking about it, that was probably Ennis's most credible win, right? I mean,
It is.
he really hasn't had like any big wins, and the guys on the pound for pound list all have. So kind of hard to put him in there. And and then somebody, of course, they were like, "Oh, you should take out Ken Shiro and put him in." Well, I was like,
Who?
"Pump your Ken Shiro." They were
Oh,
talking about taking Ken Shiro out, Ken Shiro Zaraji out. I was like, well, this guy won like multiple titles at 108 and 112, um, Ring Magazine champ type of thing. Uh, Beat the best in those divisions. Like, relax, like
yeah,
you know. Ennis is gonna be there. Trust me, he's gonna be there. He probably just needs like another one of those fights next, whether that's Barrios, whether that's Norman, whether that's Ryan, whether that's Teofimo, whether that's whoever. He needs another one of those names and performances, and he'll be in there. Thoughts on the
Every
fight?
well, first thoughts on the fight was I thought Jerron did an amazing job. Great job. What impressed me the most was his patience and the way to cut off the ring when Stanionis was trying to get away from the onslaught a little bit. Good cutting off the ring, good forearm movement, good distance, went to the body, rough body shots, bro. When I'm talking rough fucking body shots, he made Stanionis look lower than average, and it was a sight to see. It was a real sight to see, man. And throwing good jabs. He had to give a lot to get. You know what I'm saying? And he got some. He got hit a couple times, but the thing is, he was showing the zone and knew what he could do. That it wasn't affecting him at all.
Yeah,
So
and that's also a credit to how good of a shape he was in too, right? Because
yeah,
he took some clean shots from Stanionis, and Stanionis don't is not no pillow puncher. Like, he could crack, and
yes,
so
he can.
for him to take those punches like that cleanly and still kind of have his wits on him to where he can counter and do all this other stuff. I thought that was a sign of him having the type of training camp that he needed for that fight.
Yeah, and all those guys you named that you said if he fights these guys, it would put him on the pound for pound. Like, any of those all those guys you named, Duran beats them, and he beats them bad. Like, he really stops these guys terribly. Like, I don't even they're not even close to giving him any type of shot, to be honest. And I want to talk about the pound for pound list, right? Pound for pound list is definitely achievements. Achievements have to be part of that pound for pound list. You have to have great achievements, but the pound for pound list in all is who is the hardest fight in any weight class. So the ant is basically pound for pound the most strongest living creature in the world, because the ant can lift up 100 to 500 times its body weight. No other living creature can do that. That's why, right? But when you talk about Jerron Ennis' style, right? Who's going to be able to handle that style? Him as a heavyweight, who can handle that as a heavy? Who him as a heavyweight, who can handle that as a heavyweight? Terrence Crawford, if he was a heavyweight, or if he was 108, who can handle that style? He's in the pound for pound list. Jerron Ennis, I say he cracks right at 10, but maybe one more. I believe one more, because the achievement part, you got to have them achievements to bring it there, but styles. It's all about styles. Who can beat any style, and I mean in any weight class. Is your style beatable? Are you beatable in any weight class, or are you, you know, um, efficient in any weight class? Are you dominant in any weight class? That's what the pound for pound list really is.
Yeah, and
So
shout
he's
out to
he's
those.
11. He's 11.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. He's a strong 11, like not moving that
Oh
from that
yeah.
spot.
Oh
Shout out
yeah.
to Dose of Boxing. I didn't see you out there yesterday, but hopefully I see you on Saturday. Norman, maybe Barrios isn't enough to put him in the list personally. I don't know. Like,
I don't know
what do you?
about that. I don't know about that. Norman has only one good win, and that's what the what's that guy stand
Uh, um,
Santiago.
Santillan,
Yeah,
Santillan.
yeah, yeah. Barrios has bigger wins than him, so I
Yeah.
don't I don't get that. So,
Well, also Barrios has fought better competition just in
yes,
general. Like whether he won or lost, he fought Tank. He
yep,
got like some bigger names under his resume. So beating him, I think would probably get him in there as well. So,
yeah, definitely.
all right. So let's see. We're gonna go into one of the announcements from Top Rank. WBC bantamweight champion Junto Nakatani. He's going to be going up against Raisuke Nishida,
Mm-hmm.
who's the other champion. Let me see. He is the I can't hold on. I got it right here. He is the IBF
IBF.
champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing a unification June 8th in Japan. That's gonna be hot. Yo, shout out to Nando. I appreciate it. That's gonna be hot. That's a dope fight. Junto, and I wrote about it maybe about a week ago, and I was questioning whether he was gonna wait around for the Inoue fight. Knowing like how he is and how aggressive and smart his coach Rudy Hernandez is, I knew that they were going to try to take at least one more fight if they can get a unification at 118. Because the more that they build up these accomplishments, the bigger the Inoue fight is.
So now,
Now,
do you think this is a risky fight for him to take, though?
it is,
Can it be a party pooper? Can it get in the way of their plans? What do you
it
think?
is, but I think that stylistically, um, I think stylistically, Nishida is the best person to have in front of you. If you know that Junto is going to go for the knockout and not the decision,
Okay.
right? Because Nishida's not like a heavy-handed person. He's got 2 KOs only, and I've seen some of his fights. He's more of like a wear you down type of guy. But Junto is, man, this guy is hitting on all cylinders. It's gonna be
Hmm.
hard to get on it. So like if you had to fight someone, like I always and I think I wrote this too. I thought that Nishida would be a good fight for Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez to capture a belt from. So
Oh,
if that kind of,
if he would have went, if he would have went away just with that belt, yeah.
yes,
Okay. Well,
yeah, and
that's A putting on the matchmaking hat right
yeah,
there,
yeah,
which is
I,
actually a really good one.
yeah, I would have done that. But Nakatani is, I favor Nakatani over Nishida, and he'll capture second belt. Me personally, I think that not once he does that fight, he then maybe fights one more time at the end of the year, but at 122, gets his feet wet against a contender there, and then fights in
Early
a
next
way.
year. Early next year.
Well, no, I think they're gonna shoot for spring for in a way.
Okay.
So fight the at the end of this year, fight a super bantam guy to get you ready for in a way the following year.
I can see that. I can see that happening. And we gotta look at Inoue's schedule too, you know.
Yeah, so in a way that doesn't have an easy schedule. He has Cardenas in May, which he's a large favorite. But I talked to Cardenas; he's like super motivated for this fight. Um, and then he's supposed to be fighting MJ Akhmadaliev in September. Now that can be a spoiler potentially.
Damn,
That
that's
can be a
rough.
spoiler.
That's
That's
a
a
rough
hard
one.
fight. It's a hard fight.
Listen, okay, so now what sucks is what would suck if they won all their fights and they still didn't fight each other.
No, no,
That
no. It's happening. So you know how that Japanese culture rolls during the award ceremony in Japan.
yes, I saw
Uh,
this.
yeah, so Inoue came out and he took the mic and he said to Nakatani, "Me and you, Tokyo Dome next year." And they was like, "Yup," and they
And
shook
whatever he
hands.
says is gonna happen.
Bingo,
And you know the tickets they're gonna sell?
bro,
We gotta go to that fight. I
bro,
don't care about me. We gotta go to if they fight, then we gotta go to that fight.
bro. And I was just like in the latest. I was in the latest Japanese magazine too. Stop playing, all right? I'm in there. Your boy's in there. So
Let's go.
so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's mega fight. Mega fight. So we'll see. Let's hope that everything works out. Let's get here to the comments here. Nando Barris is waiting on Ryan Garcia to cash him out. No, so I heard that
Hmm. That's a
there's
good
a
one.
there's a WBC mandatory coming up. So there's an eliminator like in a couple weeks for Barrios belt, and then Barrios gonna fight that guy. However, if the Boots Ennis fight develops, or if Norman maybe fights Barrios, unifications supersede mandatories. So we'll see.
And
We'll
also,
see.
I wanna speaking of that, They're not fighting for a real world title. They're not fighting for the official world title.
Who's that?
Is it Ryan Garcia? The intern. It's the
Yeah,
intern.
yeah. But everybody knows what the money is. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. Nando, Nakatai anyway informally agreed to fight each other next year. That's huge. Yeah,
Yep.
but it informally, but really formally. Like all the Japanese power brokers were there in that room.
When that
One,
happens, that's big.
when when that happens in those type of environments, it's gonna happen.
That's why
And
they don't talk so much.
exactly, and the reason why they're saying it now is because the planning for that is probably like 6 months long. You know, how they going to stage it, what are they going to do fight week to promote it, all those type of things. That just doesn't happen in a day.
That's
You got to plan
exciting.
that out. You got to
That's
plan that.
exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Nando's back. That anyway fight should have been at Dodger Stadium. Tickets ain't selling in Vegas. Could have been huge in LA with the Japanese tie to it. Top rank was too lazy. So the Dodgers have a
So
game that day, and I think that two things. One, the top rank is going to rely on the ratings they're going to get right after the game. So it's going to be Sunday night baseball, you know, uh, Otani, right? They're going to be promoting the fight on the at the game, and then it's going to lead right into the Nakatani fight. I mean the Inoue fight. That's probably going to get a big ratings boost.
let me ask you a question, Abe. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a so? It's just a question. No right or wrong answer. Maybe in the financial world, would you rather have a sold out gate where you got to even open up bleachers, all that, with one viewer, or would you rather have one person sitting in the stands and everybody in the world viewing? Talk to me.
I think the latter, bro. Long term, the latter. Because I would say for every five people that will go to the fight, maybe one of them is an actual boxing fan. And you hope to maybe get one out of the remaining four to continue to be a fan, I think. Um, so, I think that the viewership is more important in this. And I don't know the technicalities of like the top rank deal, and I don't know if maybe there's like some bonus money kicks in if it hits certain threshold, which I have to assume it does, right? This would be the best way to accomplish that. Um, I know that ticket sales are low, um, or aren't moving as fast. It is a Sunday, in Vegas, so that's kind of a little bit of a hard sell.
Yeah, that's bad.
Um, But ticket sales with boxing events are funny these days. People aren't buying them that far out. They're buying them like the week of,
Yep.
couple days before. So if the tickets are really low at that time, then I would be worried. But we're still what 2 weeks away. I wouldn't be that worried. Also, like the casinos, they gobbled up a lot of it. So they already paid top rank for a lot of those tickets, and they're giving them to the whales to come in and spend
Oh
money and
yeah.
stuff like that. Bro, the casinos are gonna make a killing, right? And I'm sure top rank is gonna get a piece of that too, right? So listen, everybody's gonna make money
Yeah, I remember
regardless.
when Deontay Wilder fought somebody in the Barclays Center, and I was trying to get floor seats, and I went to get floor seats, and floor seats were like 900, and I didn't even have to buy, but I just wanted to. I could have gotten them free, which I did most of the time. And then the day of the fight, that afternoon of the fight, $240 floor seats. Crazy. I already had my ticket and everything. I figured out a way anyway. But 200 from 900 to 240, like the price drops on that fight day. So a lot of people wait for the fight week and the fight day for prices to drop and for their plans too.
Yeah, yeah. Let me see. Nando says Vegas. Sneakerly isn't really a fight town. Locals don't show up. Yeah, they don't. I mean, it's more of like a tourist fight town, basically. You want to talk about like a real fight town? That would be like Southern California. Those are fight towns, right? Because the hardcore fans are in Southern California for sure. Um,
Barclays, all that.
yeah, and Barclays. I don't know if so much these days, man, because I feel like boxing in New York has kind of left a little bit,
They come out though.
but they definitely come out for sure. All right, let's see. Oh, so um, yesterday was Ryan Garcia's media workout. He's got the fight against Rolando Romero on May 2nd in Times Square. I've heard that the seats itself is invite only. They're not selling tickets for it, so you got to get invited for that. Then outside and the perimeter is like whatever type of thing. Um,
So what's up?
so yeah, so Ryan came in there, immediately started working out with Derek James. Did the shadow boxing, then started working out with Derek James. So Derek James is training him for this fight. His father is as well. One of the things that kind of stood out to me was I did not feel like they were that in sync.
Okay.
Like Ryan and Derek when they were doing the pads, it didn't seem fluid. Now that made me think whether or not, or not whether or not, but how much time Derek has spent with Ryan actually.
All right. So basically, what I'm gonna tell you is, it's not that people say, "Oh, he's not in sync because his style and Derek's style is totally different." And Ryan Garcia is just stiff. No, when you're with a trainer long enough, no matter how stiff you are or anything, you guys are gonna be in sync and flowing, just like you said. They're not in sync and flowing because Ryan Garcia is not over there. He's not over there at all, ever. So he finally got a fight coming up. He's been training with his dad. Then he goes, got Derrick James coming in and everything. Other than that, no. And unless you're paying Derrick, you're not gonna have Derrick James over there all the time, away from his family and away from his gym and fighters and stuff like that. So
And so I straight up I had asked Ryan's father Henry, who I've known for a long time. I was like, hey, did you guys split time between San Diego and Texas for this camp? He said, no, we had the whole camp here in San Diego.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I said, so was Derek here the whole time? And then he was like, yeah, he was.
No,
And I was
guarantee.
like, okay. And then just, seeing what's up or whatever. And I got a bunch of other, little tidbits, sound bites that I'm going to put in a story for Monday, fightatw.com. Shameless plug. Um, but it just didn't seem like they were in sync.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know how much like Derek James we're gonna see or there was involved in the training camp. Not to say that he didn't look sharp himself. I'm just saying for that portion, they just didn't. It just wasn't flowing right.
Maybe, and I mean they've been here so many times, so I maybe this cancels what I'm about to say. They're in front of the cameras and everything. And but they not them two together. They haven't really been like doing pad work in front of the cameras all the time. They have, but that was when Ryan was on his bullshit, just messing around and not caring about stuff. But it seems to look like they're serious now. It's just they're not flowing yet. Well, hopefully they can get it flowing. But maybe we could be wrong. Maybe behind closed doors, they're doing their thing. They just maybe wanted a different pattern, something different that they're working on this week, that maybe he has to go to the left hook. He got to pivot out a little bit, step back, uppercut, left hook, pivot again. Maybe the little things that they're working on this week, and they didn't even care about the media workout to make it look good. They're really working. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's a great point that you made because what I also saw was more short shots from Ryan.
Yes.
I saw less long looping shots and more short, impactful shots.
He has to have short shots because if he goes throwing looping shots with Rolando, he's gonna have a problem. He might
Yeah.
have a problem. They both gonna knock each other out. But the fight's not going the distance. I'll tell you that because Rolly he has a hard time even going the distance, and Ryan Garcia, he just wants to get you out of there, or you know, I don't know. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, and I also saw him. He was popping that straight right hand more. The lead left jab was a lot stiffer, a lot harder than I've seen it before.
How
So
does size look?
I was just gonna get to that. Um, he looks more proportioned at 147. Like he is filled out to where he's got the thicker calves, the thicker legs that go with the wide frame. So he definitely looks more proportioned at 147. I almost wonder if he should have been here a year ago or two.
But how does it's just crazy because he goes from 130, 135 to 140 ish to 147 so fast. Now a lot of people, they talk and say, hey, his PEDs, is he taking, is he now he's off the PEDs, now he's looking less bigger and less stronger than before. What do you think about those people that say that, and what do you think about it?
Yeah, the one thing that I would say is this. This was the this was the first time I had seen Ryan at a media workout since he fought at Carson a few years ago against can't remember his name. He knocked him out with a short left hook. And that was still at 135. The difference that I saw then and now is that man, at 135, his speed was undeniable. It was fast. At this weight, it's not as fast. It's still fast,
It's heavier.
but it's not as fast as it was in 135. Yeah, I mean it's only 10 pounds or whatever, but I just think that he had like lightning speed at 135, and at 147 really good speed.
There's a difference between lightning speed and really good speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now Jerron for 147, he has lightning hands. He got
Yeah.
them fast hands.
Yeah.
And jab
Yeah.
super judo.
And that's what I'm saying. So like, but I tell you, he was doing this thing on the Cobra bag, which isn't easy. People think that that's easy, but it's not easy. And yeah, no, he had a good solid workout, and then we rolled out from there. Oscar De La Hoya though, he was in prime form though. Like he was giddy, and
Now, how was Oscar and Ryan together? Like their chemistry, is it looking a lot better than before?
yes. This Although this was the first time that Oscar has seen him since going to training camp. Normally in the past, Oscar would drop in and throughout training camp just to kind of check on him and stuff.
Yeah, but
But
that was before they had all their little,
yeah,
moves.
so now he was just like this was the first time he was seeing him. And so he was, they would talk. It still looks a little awkward, but um, I think it's better than it was before.
Yeah, because I remember you got to remember that when it was Golden Boy, Canelo, and Ryan, like they were
Hmm.
all, and now that it's separate, it's like a little. Uh.
Yeah, and so that's I don't know. We'll see.
Will we ever see Canelo say what's up to Oscar again
No,
in the person?
nope,
Will we ever see this?
no. I'm
Okay.
telling you right now, we're not. But Oscar spoke to me about no fucking way, and the clap back. It was funny. We sat down. We were talking about it. One of the things that he was talking about the no fucking way, which I didn't know, and I think he's gonna talk about it in his upcoming episode. But he said that he had rolled his ankle the week before the Trinidad fight, And so on fight night, he said that he wrapped his ankle in duct tape and went to the ring.
Mm,
I was like, okay.
mm.
Now, I don't know if it was to that extreme where he put duct tape around, but that's what he said. He said he wrapped it with duct tape and walked into the ring.
Close fight. I thought he won.
Yeah,
And I'm Puerto
real
Rican.
close. Real close fight.
I'm Puerto Rican, bro. I'm Puerto Rican. It was so close. So close. But Tito, he's a man. Truly.
Yeah, yeah, he is the man.
Yeah.
He is the man. And so, one of the things, yeah, shout out to Dosa Box. You got to remember, Golden Boy did also recently scrap Ryan's fight in Japan. They're facing legal action. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was for the
Yep.
better. Look what happened now. Look what he's getting now. What if he would have got a
Yeah.
cut in that stupid exhibition? He would have been missing out on a good fight, headlining a good card in New York.
Yeah. So, speaking of New York, Oscar De La Hoya last night announced Shakur Stevenson versus William Cepeda for the WBC lightweight title is done. They are fighting. Funny thing was that hours earlier, he was telling me, yeah, we restarted the conversations because, Stevenson had that issue with Turkey and all that. He was like, but we restarted it. We're good now.
No,
We're trying
somebody
to get
got
there.
somebody got
We're, we're,
get out there,
we're trying to
hey,
get there.
get in
But
line.
at that moment, De La Hoya was, I asked him, was like, where would you want to have that fight? Like SoCal? He was like, nah, East Coast, New York.
It'll do
I
good
was
there.
like, I was
It'll
like,
do good.
okay. So when they rolled that out, they officially said New York, Zepeda, Stevenson. Now the date
Shakur
is
has
not done
big
yet
more
though.
fans. Shakur has more fans than Cepeda.
Yeah, I mean he's done Brick City a few times, right? Like the Potential Center, and he can get him to New York. He can get him to New York. And so I'm just glad that got done. He
Great
was
fight.
Oscar was confident that it was going to get done at that moment. Um, and although like initially I wanted to think that he knew that it was done when he was talking to me, I don't think he did because his president Eric Gomez, who's really the guy that does all the negotiation stuff, right? He didn't come to the luncheon until way after, and then they were talking in the back. And I think at that point, because like 2 hours later is when he made that announcement. I think at that point is when he told him, "Yo, everything is done. We're good."
So Top Rank is a part of everybody's together with
No,
this, or
no, no, no. So what do you mean top rank?
is Top Rank going to be joining on the undercard or no? When it comes to
No,
bringing
what,
other
what?
fighters in there, or nah?
No, no. Why would top rank come in?
I don't know. I don't know. I was
Oh,
thinking about something.
no. So not right now, but
I was thinking
that
about
could be a
something.
possibility.
I was thinking about.
That
Thinking.
could be that could be a possibility, unless you're telling me something that I don't know right now.
I don't know. It would be cool to see like a Tevin Farmer versus like an Abdullah Mason. Something.
Well, Abdullah's fighting on
I
that
know.
Norfolk card. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. But unless they do it later in the summer, that would make sense. Okay, okay. All right, we'll leave it at that. We'll put a pin on that one. We'll put a pin on that. But Oscar also said that he told me he wants to do a big fight in New York. He
Mm-hmm.
wants to do a big fight in New York. Now, I don't know if the Zepeda Stevenson is part of that because he said it in a separate conversation. But he said that he wants to have Oscar Collazo, the Boricua
Yeah.
unified
Yep.
champion. He wants to have Charles Conwell on there. He wants to have his new heavyweight that he just signed, and he wants to have all his East Coast fighters on that card. He said he wants to do something big at the Garden.
Mm.
So
And I wonder who he's trying to headline that card because I mean, Shakur and Zepeda, that's a really good fight. I don't want to go as to say it's a big fight. It's a superstar fight. It's not, but it's a good, great fight because they go both great fighters and they're both top guys. But does that sell out? No, I don't think so. So I wonder who De La Hoya is talking about, and
yeah,
I'm interested. I'm
Yeah,
interested.
unless he's talking about Garcia Haney too.
Oh well, that's that. I mean, shit. Of course, that's gonna sell out 2 seconds. That's easy.
Yeah, I mean, and that would be, yeah, you would do that at the Garden, at the big room, and because he was talking about September, like they have like a an agreement to do it in September now, like a initial agreement. Not no signed contracts and like that, but initial agreement.
Maybe Oscar got a trick up his sleeve. Maybe he's got somebody else in mind. I don't know.
Bro, let me tell you something, man.
Oscar's
Oscar,
not dumb.
yo,
Oscar's smart.
yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, Oscar is this guy. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and people sleep on him, but don't sleep on this girl Holly either. She's a smart woman and a little bit of the brains of the situation there. And so a lot of that stuff, they collaborate on ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of big things coming out of Golden Boy. Charles Conwell was there, and I got to talk to him. He's fighting tomorrow on Saturday
It's
on the
crazy. He
zone
should have
as
been. He should have been fighting for a world title.
yeah, but he's fighting he's the co-main, and Oscar was talking about this. He was like, "Yo, this is the slot and the fight that will get him into the title shot or title eliminator." Um, and so he's locked in for that. If Fundura and Zayas doesn't get done
Oh,
for whatever reason, Conwell's next in line. So like if Fundura has to vacate, then it's Xander versus Conwell, bro.
that's a bad fight for bro, man. That's listen,
Yo,
a bad
that would
fight.
be bad news for somebody.
No,
Ooh,
I just
ooh,
to be honest, that would be bad news for Zayas, big
ooh.
time. That's a big step up, even with the
Yes,
Fedora. But hey, you're gonna get a bigger paycheck. But sheesh, that right there, that's a that's a become more. That's an earned
yes,
world title right there. Any of
yeah,
them fight, if Xander Zayas versus Conwell, and they fought and Zayas wins, that's a earned world title. If Conwell fought, that's a earned world title too. But Conwell has fought the better competition coming up. But that's a really rough fight. Really rough
yeah.
fight.
So Conwell, a little bit of pressure to perform tomorrow on the zone. Their fight is at the Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, California. Literally
Have you
like
seen
10
him in the
minutes,
gym? Have you seen
literally
him in
like
the gym?
like like 10 minutes from my house. So I'm happy about that. Um, I have not seen Charles in the gym because he trains out of Toledo,
Okay.
Ohio. But from people that I know that have seen him, they say he's every bit of a beast in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and he's ready. He's ready. And Oscar was really like motivated and saying, yeah, like we have big plans for him. We're we're taking us the next step is Saturday, and then after that, we'll see what it is. Now Charles is expecting to be a dad again in July. But he told me straight up, he was like, listen, if Xander and Fundura doesn't work out, and that means like me and whoever else for the title in the summer, so be it, man. I'm taking that fight.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. That could be Charles Conwell versus Xander Zayas in the theater, Madison Square Garden. June,
Yeah.
July, you know.
The July is the top ranked date. Top rank has, I think, a date for Xander as for July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
know Top Rank like they like to play the Puerto Rican Day Parade type of
They're not
thing.
gonna they're not gonna do it because they're doing Keyshawn in Norfolk that weekend.
They're not gonna do it because they lost Edgar and that's why.
Well, I mean, I think
Probably.
they were trying to do Xander again on that day, but I think with the Fundura fight, the schedule just didn't work out that way.
Got you. Got
You
you.
know what I mean? Because Fundura just fought like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those boxing, Ruslan Abdulev versus Gino Rodrigo, flying under the radar, going to be a bang in the Saturday. Yes, Oscar was talking about Ruslan too. I want to check that out. See, I get there early with the other knuckleheads, right? And so I usually there for the first fight. So I'll be watching that fight and seeing what the deal is. Kind of going from there. Um, the main event is Gabriela Fundora versus Marilyn Badillo. Listen, I spoke to Gabriela, right?
She's great, man. I'm sure, man.
Yo, I told her straight up. I said, listen, there's spots in women's boxing where the entertainment value is not there. Um, people want to see knockouts or something close to it. If you're going into a fight or if you're going into watching a fight and you already know without even like looking at the names that it's going to go 10 rounds, you may not want to watch it. So I told her, I was like, hey, did you make it a point to like be this aggressive fighter looking for the stoppage because
Can't hear you.
you hear me
Nah.
now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wait a minute.
But what did she say when you asked her? When you asked her,
Okay, here
did
we
she
go. I'm
did she become
Yeah,
a
so
knockout person because women's boxing is boring? What did she say?
yeah, so she was like, yeah, because when when I go to when I go to see a fight, I want to see a knockout. I want to be entertained. She was like, so yeah, I'm going in there for the stoppage,
Hmm.
or the knockout or something close to it. I'm not trying to, dance around, do anything. I'm going for it.
Yeah. You know what I
And
think
I
about
was just
that?
like,
Yeah, I think that's great, man. Cause she's good, man. She looks like a girl that you see her down the street, be like, yeah, look at this girl. She's doing a little homework. She's in college and all that. Yo, she'll knock your ass out. She'll knock you out. And
yeah,
a lot of guys and girls or a lot of fighters, they be like, hey, I just want to go in there and going for the knockout because that's their style. That's their style. That's what they know. And then there's other people that they go for the knockout because they don't want to rely on their boxing skills with the other person. So they're like, you know what? Let me overcompensate and go for that knockout.
yeah.
There's different. Some people don't trust their skills. Some people do, and some people just have that style where they just want to go for the knockout, like Amanda Serrano and all of them.
Yeah, no, and so she's super confident. I think it was Lance Pugmire asked. He was like, "Hey, who do you want to fight next?" She was like, "Well, who's the champ? That's me. I got all the belts. So the real question is,
Move up.
who are all the challengers that want to fight me?" I was like, "Okay."
I want to see her move up.
Well, I mean, the when you're talking about like names, I think that the only one out there that and it's a makeable fight is the Yokasta Valle fight.
Okay.
Um Even though Yokasta Valle is a little small, but she last fought at 112. I think Golden Boy would want to make that. But recently I heard she was going back to 105, so I don't know.
Gotcha.
Um but yeah, I think she has a very entertaining style. She wants to go after it. She knows what it takes to be entertaining, and that's what you want. That's what you want. And if you're looking for somebody that's gonna kind of like carry the torch a little bit for women's boxing, for people to like know about stuff, I think it might be just her, man. It might be her.
Now, speaking about women boxing, when you think about everything when it comes to, the three, the Alicia Baumgartner, Amanda Serrano, and Clarissa Shields over. The meet over online. Over online. Twitter.
Oh man. So this is the thing. It's how could I say this? They've been kind of battling it, like taking like indirect shots at each other for a long time. Clarissa Shields is a talented athlete, talented fighter. But she was no knockout person. She wasn't no knockout artist.
Never. No.
Um, were her fights entertaining? Not really. Uh, I think that the most entertaining one coming up was against that Russian girl that ended up not fighting ever again after that. That she was more of an IG model than anything else. That they did on Showtime. But you know,
Oh, yeah.
she has the accomplishments and stuff like that. She's a great fighter.
Yeah.
Um, Amanda Serrano, on the other hand, uh, great fighter as well. Did her thing in the lower weight classes, bounced around a bunch of weight classes. Uh, didn't really have the big fights until a couple years ago. And then, with Jake Paul, now is getting the bigger fights with Katie Taylor and all that. Clarissa naming herself the GOAT at the moment that she did, there was really no one else in the position to do the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, she had the platform and she had the position to do so with the
Yeah.
accomplishments.
Outside of the previous Layla Ali's and all the other
Yes.
ones. Yeah.
Yes. Once Serrano started fighting like more recognizable names, because obviously the inventory isn't that big when it comes to women's boxing. And once the Jake Paul situation came about, then her profile as just Amanda Serrano started to come up really fast. Then at a certain point, some may argue and say even surpass Clarissa Shields,
All right.
right?
So I wanna interrupt. You wanna hear
Yes.
something? And I'm not just saying it because I know Amanda. Clarissa Shields, gold gold medalist, multiple time world champion, one of the best. Like I'm talking about one of the best. But I never can say look back on a Clarissa Shields, any Clarissa Shields fight where there's any entertainment or any starching, like straight blast through a girl. Not really. You know what I'm saying? Not to bring down her accolades because you can't, because she's one of the best and she'll go down in history, Clarissa Shields, and she's made a lot of money. But I was always saying before even Amanda signed the MVP, Amanda Serrano is the best pound for pound fighter in the world because of how many weight classes she was getting belts in before everybody and coming up. And then her signing and then fighting Katie Taylor twice and all this stuff. She's literally right there. Of course, she took the two L's, understandingly, but she's right there. If you want to say somebody's like pound for pound the best, and when it comes to entertainment and everything, you can say Katie Taylor's right there. Katie Taylor, you got Katie Taylor, you got Amanda Serrano, and of course you got Clarissa Shields. Because the reason why you have to mention Clarissa Shields, not because the entertaining part, is because she wins. There's nothing entertaining about her fights, but she wins, bro. She does anything to win. You understand? But Amanda, you gonna see people bleeding. You gonna see people fighting. Katie Taylor, she's gonna go all the way. She's gonna put herself out there, And Alicia too, she's had some good fights, some good back and forth fights. So
And some may argue that Katie Taylor's a bigger star than both of them, like globally.
yeah, I mean, but that's a. I mean, if you're a business person, that's a given. You
Yeah.
understand? It's a given.
Well, not everybody knows that.
And Katie Taylor doesn't gloat about it because that's not her style.
Yeah.
And Amanda, she's doing her thing now. She's killing it. She ain't got to worry about a damn thing. You
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah. And so like, and then it comes back to shout out to everybody on IG. I see you, Razor Raynon. Victor Fields, what's up? Jamel, what up? Um, I think with Clarissa, right? We'll always like gets me to cringe a little bit is like her reactions to things. Like I feel like sometimes she doesn't really like process like whatever her thoughts are before she says it. She says like the first thing that's on her mind,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's not always a good thing.
yeah,
And so when that happens, like people get turned off.
yeah,
People get turned off by that, and it's just like it's like, man, like we don't want to hear that.
yeah.
We
You
don't
know what
want
I
to
think
hear
about?
that.
You know how I think about Clarissa Shields? I'm gonna be straight up. Yo, Clarissa Shields, with all her accomplishments, if she just toned it down with the reactions, or way before, maybe it's too late, but it's never too late to change. If she toned it down with the reactions, with the outbursts, with the, acting all out of pocket. If you acting out of pocket and fighting out of pocket and knocking girls out, then that's cool, but you're not. If she did, she would literally be what's the girl? What's the tennis player? The best female tennis
Oh,
player.
Serena Williams
She would
or
be
Venus.
the
Yeah.
Serena Williams of boxing, like getting all the sponsors, getting everything. Clarissa Shields, she would be getting every single sponsor because she would be literally the example for all the little girls and everybody. But the reason why she's not getting those is because of the way she acts online and the media. Nobody wants to, just do your thing, and that's it. And if she did, yo, she would be getting all the sponsors. She'll be going on to shows. She'll be getting a bunch of stuff. People would want to see her even more. But you get the people that are a little sensitive and like, nah, I don't want to watch her because she be talking online and she don't really do anything. And it's a little cringy, but that's women's
Yeah,
boxing for
and
right
and
now.
and I think, and I'm not gonna stress on this point too much. I'm just gonna say it and really just kind of move on from it. The thing that I don't like is that that any is it's almost like, and this happens on X more than anything. Any little opportunities or openings, like people will start throwing race into the conversation.
Oh man, damn,
And
that's
it and
crazy.
it
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to
Yeah, they be
be
wilding.
about, yeah, like
It should
it's
never be about race, man. Clarissa Shields, great young woman, great fighter. Amanda Serrano, great young fighter. Alicia, great young fighter. Katie Taylor. There should not be anything about race, man. I don't like that type of stuff. But hey, this is boxing. This is the Wild West. And when it comes to the ladies, obviously there is no pardon. They're also gonna play in the Wild West, so
yeah,
y'all
the
deal with it.
the red light district of sports, as somebody once said.
For real, for real.
Oh man. All right. Listen, let me see who else we got here. Yeah, Victor said Boots put it on him. Good points about energy. I wonder how much he weighed that night. Looks
Did they
like a
give? Did they give
no.
that out?
No, they didn't. But
You want me?
he, if I
You want
had
me to
to
tell
imagine,
everybody? You want me to tell? No, I can't.
if I had to imagine, he was probably like closer to 170, maybe 165. Right around there. Right around there. All right.
Hey, okay.
um okay, listen. The the circus has arrived. And as my guy Michael Woods would say, Jackpot Jr. is back.
Oh my, yo, yo.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. will be fighting Jake Paul on June 28th in Anaheim, California. So guess what? I will be there. Um, but guess what? It's on the Zone pay-per-view.
Hey,
Hold on, hold on,
Jake
hold
Paul
on,
should
hold
be
on though.
doing. He should be doing business with Turkey.
Hold on, the co-main. Zerto Ramirez, unified cruiserweight champ. He's fighting Uniel Dorticos. Really good fight there.
All
I
right.
really like that fight. That's one. And two, Zerto is Zerto is a known fighter in the Anaheim area because he's had fights there before. So I would imagine that just off of that, they'll sell maybe half the place and then Jake Paul will sell the other half.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
Dose spot. I've been telling my wife for years that was the fight to make for Jake Paul. Yeah, so I think that everybody knew that that was the fight. The only thing that they were really waiting on was for Chavez Jr. to look decent at some point. He looked decent in November, and that's all they needed to do to get this across the board. Now, initially, I think they were going to try to go for Dallas when they were talking about it like a year or two ago. Interesting that they're going to Anaheim and they're going to pay per view for this event. Um, just want to get your thoughts on that, Zach.
I my thoughts. Cesar Chavez he gonna get a lot of money. He's gonna get some money. That's it. His father's pissed off. Whatever. He's gonna get some money. That's it. Hey, maybe Chavez. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Chavez before was a bad motherfucker. Chavez Jr. Bad motherfucker. He'll go in there, lace your ass out. He'll throw a million punches. Listen, this is how it's gonna go. Correct me if I'm wrong when it happens. Chavez is gonna train. He's gonna fight Jake Paul. He gonna lay down. Jake Paul gonna give him that extra thump, that extra knot, that extra them extra M's. They wire transfer. If you don't, you won't get this. You better take that knee, take that knee, or because in all honesty, if Chavez has time for a fight and he goes and trains seriously, he stops Jake Paul in like 2 or 3 rounds. You understand? We're talking about a real professional fucking fighter here. We're not talking about Mike Tyson who can't move and has to warm up for maybe 2 hours before he can even get out of bed. You understand? We're talking about Chavez Jr. He's still mobile. You understand? If he trains and is focused, he stops Jake Paul in like 3 or 4 rounds. It's no, but then don't sleep. Jake Paul is gonna come in shape. So that's not even we're talking about Jake Paul here though. Right?
Yeah,
And but Chavez knows he gonna get paid. They know what he can do. They know what Chavez can do. So they're gonna say, yo, I got a Chavez name under my record. Ludabella tweaking with the former world champion Mike Tyson. Oh, Mike Tyson, that should have never even counted. Come on, Lou. And I like Lou. But yo, come on, man. You gonna get paid. We're giving you this money. You got a big name, your family name, Chavez. I got a Chavez under my resume. I have Mike Tyson under my resume. Wins. I'm doing this for boxing. You know what I'm saying? But Chavez gonna get paid so much money for laying down. It's gonna be a good night for him.
yeah, and
You
it's a real fight, like 10 ounce
Yeah, this is
gloves,
sanctioned.
3 minute rounds,
Yep.
10 round fight.
10 round fight, 10 ounce
10.
gloves.
Yep. So let me see. Dose Chavez Jr. and Zerto could sell Honda alone. I believe that for sure. Jake Paul will be the reasons
That's
for the
easy.
epic hike, though. Yeah. Let me see. Really hope they open the bleeders for this one. Packed house guarantee. And you know what? The Honda Center is the way it's shaped. Like it's perfect. Even the seats up top are really good for the price hike. Yeah.
But what I think, yo,
Wait,
what
hold on, Zach. Hold on, Zach, for a second. Hey, everybody, if you wanna comment, drop your comment. But if you wanna come on and talk to us about, we're
Yep,
talking
come through.
Jake Paul, Chavez Jr. The link is on the YouTube at AG Boxing YouTube page. Is at the top of the comments box. Hit the link. You don't gotta show your face. You could just come on, talk your shit, ask questions, whatever, and then we'll go from there. So I just wanted to plug that in. Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry.
Definitely come on through, guys. Or what if Chavez Jr. in the middle of the fight, he's like, in the beginning of the fight, he's like, fuck that shit. I want to hit this guy. And they start really going. And they really go. And Jake Paul somehow starts looking good and actually boxing and wins. Then if it's truthful, if we're talking truthful, then Jake Paul will get some credit. He'll get credit for this. You understand? You got to give a guy credit if he's fighting somebody. But it's hard to believe when things are truthful or not. When it comes to this part of boxing, there's boxing, and then there's this part of boxing, the entertainment part of boxing, because a lot of things are could be rigged. Not saying they are, but most things are rigged where they might not be. But if it's not, like say if Jake Paul fought a Sharif Yunan and beats him, yeah, you get respect. You understand?
Hmm.
So you know,
Yeah, and I think this. Let me ask you this: Did being that we were getting this fight, are you more anticipating this fight than you would have if they would have gone through with Jake Paul versus Tank?
what do you mean?
So like, Jake Paul said that they were literally almost at the finish line
Mm-hmm.
to sign Jake Paul versus Tank.
Okay.
Now that we're getting Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr., is this fight, the Paul and Chavez Jr., is it more interesting to you than Paul versus Tank?
No, man, it's almost in the same ballpark, bro. It's just
Yeah.
you're gonna get knocked out by Tanky. You know it. You know what I'm saying?
Even with the dramatic weight difference?
Yeah. Dramatic. It might be, maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Because
The he's big. Jake Paul's big, but we're talking about the best fighters in the world. We're talking about. Okay, we're
yeah, but
talking about.
you
Okay,
talking
so
about let's say Tank came in.
Terence Crawford fight Jake Paul,
Yeah,
bro.
but no. Let's say Tank would weigh like 145 at most. He's fighting somebody that's 200 pounds. He's giving 50 pounds away.
I've seen a lot of things, but
I've
some
seen him.
sometimes a lot of sometimes weight plays a big part of everything. But when
Yeah.
it comes to skills, and a guy's skills are not on your skills, weight don't even matter. Like you get your ass in there with a 200-pound guy, and that just started boxing. He's been doing his exhibitions and killing the game with a dude that's 147, that's lightning fast and nice. That dude's getting fucked up. I've seen it. I've done it. We've done, So when you're talking about elite now, it's pretty hard, but I think this is more entertaining because Chavez Jr. is gonna talk his shit.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's gonna talk his shit. So you know what? I think this is a more interesting fight. And it's a Chavez name. It's a boxing name that everybody in the whole world knows. So guess what? Jake Paul, I think he's being real smart with this one, and it's gonna be a good event though. I'll
Yeah,
be looking forward to see it. Why not?
and this is a thing. Like, Jake Paul's a smart sob, because even though like Chavez Jr. isn't like this blockbuster superstar, he still carries the name. And
Yeah,
even though we're in 2025, that still matters. Like
it does. It
they had the
does.
reality show on Netflix that they did like 6 7 months ago on the family of Chavez. Um like the whole like Mexico is gonna be behind this fight, like heavy. And Paul is gonna be taking it all in. And then you got Zurdo Ramirez on the undercard. So even, you know what I mean? Like, this is a
I like
win-win.
it. I
And
like it.
I heard that I was reading, I should say, that Golden Boy is gonna be the lead promoter
Of what?
of the event.
Of Jake Paul and
Yeah.
oh well, they're gonna do real good because
Yep.
they know how to market that, man. And listen, it's way more interesting than the Tank versus him. It would have been bigger for the culture, as in the East Coast and the urban culture and all those, the blacks, Spanish, CJ Paul fight this guy and whatever. But when it comes to like traditional and the Mexicans and everybody, and for Jake Paul himself, when it comes to the boxing name of Chavez, having that on his resume or anything like that, then that's good for him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to watching that. Like I'm real just interested in how it's just gonna be a go. They're both gonna wear great gloves. So you already know what time it is.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And I mean, and I think that just the buildup, like you said,
And the build is gonna be crazy.
is gonna be crazy, because Chavez, like, he talks a little bit of English, but
Chavez talk shit. Chavez ain't
but
no
he
fucking.
knows
Yo,
he
Chavez, he
does.
be chilling with the cartel. And Chavez, he different, bro. Chavez Jr. I'm talking about, guys. Chavez Jr. is
Yeah.
different, bro.
Uh,
There's gonna be cartel members in that arena, bro, when they fight. It's a guarantee, and they putting up big money out there.
yeah, it's gonna be something. Now, how do you feel that it's on pay per view though?
I don't know about that, buddy. I don't think it should be on pay per view. I know I won't be watching on pay per view.
Yeah, I don't.
As Two Tone says, fire stick.
Yeah, I don't. Ah, man. It's a hard sell. Uh, oh shit, Chavez is married into the yo,
Enough. I
yo.
wanna go to San. I'm going to San Diego soon. I want to go there in peace,
Oh,
please.
oh man. But listen, hey, Anaheim is right up the road, man. So who knows? Maybe Zach
What date
makes
is
his
that?
appearance. June. What is it? June 28th.
Okay.
June 28th, I think.
Oh, you know what I think?
Look, the
I
Honda
know.
Center already put out emails for tickets. Dose, if you're there, just so you know, Honda Center already put out an email for pre-sale signups. Yeah, June 28th.
You know, I think MVP Promotions should lobby and get and look to get a Mexican female fighter.
Well,
Do they have any Mexican female fighters?
I think they did. They signed a bunch. So they signed Yocasta Valle's sister. I know she's from Costa Rica. And then they signed somebody from, I think, they signed a bunch of folks, but I don't know if they have somebody that was Mexican. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
there's a because there's a girl named Right
Oh
Hook
yeah, yeah.
Roxy.
But she with
That
360.
Oh, she's with 360. Oh, okay, they
Yeah.
could probably work out something, and because she very marketable girl, she's been fighting since she was young, and they could make her start easy.
Now, Kenya, yeah, Kenya would be a good signing, but she's kind of like on the downslope though. Dose. I don't know if that's maybe she holds a name in Mexico for sure though. Um, Right Hook Roxy, that could be a fighter that can be added to that Jake Paul card.
Why not?
Uh,
Why
because
not?
she does have like a solid following in the Los Angeles area. Um, and it's not, like Tom Loeffler works for everybody. So if there's an opportunity for one of his fighters to get on like on a big card, he'll do it if it makes sense.
Yep.
That's one thing about Tom Loeffler. Like he's always done that. So uh, if they reach out, I have to assume that they're going to look at who's from the area or you know who's popular in the area and try to bring those folks in so that they can fill in the stadium for the most part. Yeah, man, it's gonna listen. I'm excited for it. We'll see how that goes. I'm really excited about that Zerto fight. What do you
That's
think
gonna be
about
good, man.
yeah, what do you think about that matchup um and what do you think about Zerto now at cruiserweight? He's been fighting a couple fights here. Do you like this version of Zerto now at this weight class? Because he was always criticized for
Wait,
not having an exciting style when he
yeah.
was in the lower weight classes.
I like Zerto, man. You know, I always thought he was a fundamentally sound fighter, bro. Like he's all around good. You know, he's a fundamentally sound fighter, Zerto. He's good. He's got a big fan base. Um, I don't know. I would like. He's close to. He could fight. What's the guy's name? Opatai or
Oh,
Jay?
Jay Patai. I think that's the one they're gonna make
That's a good
eventually.
fight. They should make that fight, bro, and it would sell big time.
But Obatiah, he's got a fight coming up in June already.
Oh snap! That don't line
Yeah,
up too much.
yeah. So I mean, I think it was a mandatory. I think it was a mandatory that he has lined up. So
Got you.
yeah, this one makes sense. This is a really good fight for Zerto. And I think it adds to the entertainment value because Look, when I seen Zerto fight, I can't remember. It was the WBA champ. I can't remember his name. I saw him in LA last year. Bro, Zerto was taking some shots, bro. I was like, damn. And he was walking right through them things.
That's crazy.
And then he was giving his, and he won the WBA title that night, the cruiserweight title. And I was like, yo, Zerto could run through a brick wall, bro.
You got guys like that, man.
Bro, I was like, man, all right, the mandatories on Zerto's and reason that the unification didn't happen next. Okay, well, there you go. Thanks, Dose. Um, so yeah, I think that it well, see, but that there's an argument with that because a unification supersedes a mandatory. So maybe they just wanted to get this one done, get Zerto paid again before they do
It's all about the
the
money right now. Zerbo's a little bit up in age, but it's all about bread right now.
yeah. And look, he can fight Dorticos, get some bread, stay active, um, continue building his fan base in Southern California. All these things can happen in June.
Yeah.
Oh
Yo.
yeah, it was Gulerman. Gulerman. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
bro. I'm telling you, Zerto. I swear Zerto got hit with like a Mack truck and he just kept coming. I was like, bro. Yeah, it was a hell of a fight, man.
Yo,
Hell of a fight.
somebody sent me a video the other day, to get into this. What do you think about, you know, Eubank Senior, you know, and very real emotional. He got interviewed. He became real emotional over, that the fact that his son Junior is fighting, Conor Ben and everything. It's whack to see something like that because it's so sad because they had such a close bond. Like they were always together, great team. I didn't want to see Eubank without his son. I didn't want to see his son without his father. It's a little like they're boring without each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're both great, but it sucks to see when a bond diminishes a little bit just because of business, though, not because of other things, because of business. And what do you think about that?
I think that with Eubank Senior, he's an egomaniac, bro. Period.
I see that.
Period. Like this dude, this dude's nose is so far in the sky that he can't even look down. You could hear the arrogance in his voice when he talks. You can hear it. Yo, like this dude, I remember Mike Woods is telling me when he saw him at Gleason's, like he showed up to Gleason's with that badge on his jacket, like it meant something.
What
That
badge?
Marshall, that Marshall's badge or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like, bro, get out of here with that. Like who cares about that?
And the fact that you say that, it makes me bring up like I think Junior, he wants to separate himself a little bit and
Yeah.
and do what he has to do. You could have seen it in certain interviews where he's just like looking at his dad, looking at like he's the kitchen and I have the utensils. The utensils,
Yeah.
such a great word. Utensils. I mean, they were great together, but you got you got you know you been Junior trying to do his own career, and he's missed out on a lot of money. He's made a lot of money, but he's missed out on a lot of money where he sees Connor, and he's like, you know what? Let me take this. Is obviously Chris Eubank Senior is the whole PAD. He don't like the whole PAD, and nobody does. But if he's not on it, if he's getting tested, then guess what? Why not take this fight for the big money? It's a big name, and cement your legacy over 2-0 over the Benz. Why not?
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, it's just Eubank and going back to that Gleason's thing. Like, he was like all like, don't talk to me unless you're like from this platform or that platform, and
That's what he
and
said.
just yeah, like who you with? Oh yeah, I can't talk to you. Like that type of thing. And it was just even the Four Kings, the UK version that they came out with in the UK on YouTube.
Eubank
Um,
Band and
it was Eubank, it was Eubank, Ben, Lennox
Ahmed.
Lewis, and Bruno, I think.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. So I forgot what it was. But anyway, he was on there, and even then, he was just kind of like, oh my gosh, I couldn't get through it because I was just rolling my eyes. Like he is way too much. But you know what? That brings me to this last topic, man. Yo, the fathers in boxing are getting super
Oh my God. You
annoying.
want to hear some dumb shit I heard the other day? Yo, I'm gonna tell you, son. Let me see if I got any money in my pocket. Not right now. Yo, you want to hear some shit? I heard that this guy named Floyd Schofield was going to fight a guy named Shakur Stevenson for 1 point something million, right? Shakur's a, he's a big top fighter, right? And then it cancels whatever happens. They get an offer. The same Floyd Schofield gets an offer from a prospect, not a champion, a prospect, and says for the same amount, you get a 1 point something million dollar offer. And guess what? I don't know what fucking prospects are getting offers like that for a fight like that. That's even more money than they should even get. And the counter was, I won't fight. We put the money on the table, 2.5 million, and Floyd Schofield is going in. Yo, bro, while he's talking, Floyd Schofield is at home folding clothes and sneaking in his little video games before his father goes to the door. Bro, you gotta let that kid free. I think on a business standpoint, it is very foolish for prospects to fight each other for $1 million is amazing. For 500,000, for seven, are you prospects fighting each other don't make that money. For you to joke, even if it was, oh, you're getting paid 250,000 to fight Abdullah Mason, that's great. And then if you would have said 1 million, you're out of your mind. Yo, bro, you're already getting 1 million plus. You said 2.5. You don't know what you're doing. You're slowly ruining your son's career, and this is not good. You know, and I like Schofield too. I like Floyd Schofield. I thought him and his father's, the way they are is a little weird. But Floyd Schofield, good ass fighter. He'll fight. He'll go. He'll get hit. He'll keep on coming. You know what I'm saying? He'll go. But his dad, man, gotta chill out, pops. You tweaking. You
Yeah.
tweaking.
And this is the thing, like, you know, he didn't, he pulled out of the Shakur, or he was, according to them, the BBBOC pulled him out of the fight. Then his father
Uh-huh.
took a video of him
Oh
like
my God,
with
man.
tubes and stuff in him on Saturday. But then that Monday, Floyd Schofield is posting videos of him working out in the gym.
It's stupid, man. It's it's
No,
it's
hold
really
on.
crazy.
It gets better. It gets better. So
Wait, there's more.
wait, there's more. um, Obviously, Abdullah Mason got a fight in Norfolk as the co-main to Keyshawn Davis. Um, but that I don't even know if I believe all of that other stuff.
I don't even believe they
And
got an
and
offer
this
for
is
one point
and this
something
is why I
million.
say that, because somebody asked Oscar yesterday, and you know what Oscar said? They was like, "Oh yeah, uh, you know, Schofield's dad was saying about 2.5 million, this, that, third." This is what Oscar said. He said nothing and was looking like that. He was like, "Oh yeah," and then let the guy like not say anything after he asked his questions. Like, in other words, all of that was bullshit.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I
But
think, and
he,
if it is true, stupid. But
but
I,
he didn't want, but he didn't want to embarrass his father, right? So he was like, but then you know, yo, De La Hoya, he's a pro, right?
No, I've
He's
seen
like,
it. I've seen it since 14, bro. I've seen him
bro,
the way he
he was
talks.
he was like, we have wonderful plans for Floyd Schofield Jr. Um, you know,
What a promoter.
we he was like, we got we've got such big plans for him. I'm super excited. We're going to be rolling some stuff out for him here soon. Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Now I'm hearing that and I'm paying attention to that. Not paying attention to know what Floyd Schofield
Yeah,
Sr. is
man.
saying. Same thing. Look, same thing with Brian Norman Jr. is great dude. Different
Oh, his
situation
dad.
though. Different situation because Brian Norman Sr. is not like he's not controlling like Schofield,
Yeah.
but he likes to get on his soapbox on these different channels on YouTube and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, Ennis and this," and I'm like, "Bro, now they're talking Brian Norman Jr. fighting somebody in Japan in June."
Oh, I think if I know the guy that they're talking about, that's a tough fight. Uh, shoot, I forgot his name.
Yeah,
There's a good guy that's at 147. That's
yeah. So they're talking about that fight. You know, and so I don't know, bro. Like, I think that we see Floyd Schofield return really soon. Oscar's gonna continue with the path. Obviously, there's a plan, right? Um, he remember Oscar didn't want Schofield to fight Stevenson in the first place. He told his father, "Yo, I don't want that. I don't like that fight.
yeah,
We already have a plan set in place. Like, just stick to the plan."
yeah.
But
You
his
know what you
pops
do?
insisted.
Yeah, you know what you do? You want to put your son in line to get for a title or Schofield? You put Floyd Schofield to fight Tevin Farmer. If he
Mm,
beats Tevin Farmer, which he wouldn't beat Tevin Farmer most likely, if he beats him, then he's putting him in line to compare his wins to a Shakur now. If Shakur can beat a Zepeda and vice versa. You understand where I'm going with this?
hmm
You could do it like that, but trying to get cash out with your son right now, I don't understand it, but go ahead.
Yo, that's not a bad idea right there. Dosa Box was saying throw kid in with body on the Paul-Chavez undercard. They might do that. Especially if Golden Boy is the lead promoter. And I think, listen, Oscar, right? Oscar knows if he wants to showcase his young talent, where are you going to do it at? On a card that's going to have all the eyeballs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Like Jake Paul, because he's not the lead promoter, he doesn't have to worry about filling in the mid cards, right?
Oh, he can do the shenanigans. Do the thing.
He could do his thing. Oscar could be filling in the cards with people that are gonna put people in the tickets, but then also showcase the young talent that he has. It's a win-win for him. Let me
Yep.
see. KC, what's the probability of Oscar Collazo's fighting on the Zepeda card? We were just talking about that earlier. So Oscar wants to do a big card at the Mass Square Garden, is what he told me yesterday. Um, he wants to do it with Collazo and Charles Conwell, his new heavyweight, and all his East Coast fighters. Now, whether that's headlined by Zepeda Stevenson or Stevenson Zepeda, that I don't know. But if it isn't, it could very well just be two separate events. But I think that Collazo in fighting in New York is pretty much happening this year. Hopefully
Mm-hmm.
that answers your question. Um, he needs to fight Melvin Jerusalem on that card. Yeah, a lot of folks calling for that. I was on X today after I posted my article on fighttw.com. A lot of folks commenting on that, saying Melvin Jerusalem. Because I had asked Oscar, because Collazo wants to fight in Puerto Rico. I asked Oscar, yo, when is he going to fight in Puerto Rico headline? He was like, it's got to be a big fight, big
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, it's gotta be a big name.
Um, there's not a lot of big names at the minimum weight, but I think that um, he can. I think what Oscar's trying to lean towards is maybe if he goes up to 108 and there's some big names at 108, that he can get a fight over there. But I also think that if there's a situation where Collazo positions himself for the undisputed title, then maybe they do that fight in Puerto Rico. But I don't disagree with you. I think the Melvin Jerusalem fight should happen. We'll see what happens. So thanks for that, KC. Let me see Instagram. Ain't nobody asking questions there. Yep, gotcha. Casey, while you there, while you online, what you think about Paul and Jake Paul and Chavez Jr. And if you want to call, you don't have to show your face, but if you want to come on, go at the at Abe G Boxing YouTube page. The link to come onto the show is at the top of the comments box. So let us know what's up. Zach, what else? What else are you anticipating here coming up? I saw the Charlo brothers.
Yeah,
Um,
so I think to be honest, Jamel, he's training. He's always training. Even when he's chilling, he keeps himself in shape. Uh, Jamal working hard, getting himself back into the groove because he does have an official fight coming up. Um, Jake Paul, wow. Um, um, I wonder what the odds are gonna be for this. It's gonna be great.
oh,
Abe
yeah,
will let you know once it officially rolls out.
yeah. You know
But I
what?
think that the Charlos, man, them coming back, my boy Jamel saying nobody took those titles from him. That's a big thing right there. Can he make 154? Absolutely. He's not a big guy, but he's strong. He's fucking strong.
Hmm.
And for him to come back, it's gonna be real interesting. But what I know is that the fights are there for him. Understand? You understand? The fights are there for him. It's just how are PBC and everybody gonna do business together, which they will. It's fine. But I'm excited. To be honest, I am excited for Keith Thurman's return. The fact that he looked great, did his thing. Now I'm just interested who's he gonna fight because it's like, yo,
Oh no,
Keith,
he's fighting Tim Tszyu.
Kim, yo, and if that's really locked in, because I was skeptical about it, I was like, is it really gonna happen? That's a great fight right there. That is like they're gonna go. They're gonna go all the way. That fight's not going the distance. Tim
Hmm.
Tszyu versus Keith Thurman is not happening. Like that's they're not going decision. That fight might go 6-7 rounds, bro, because they going
They're
once
gonna
one of
go.
them hits each other clean, they're fighting. They both throw crazy hooks. They both come well. Keith Thurman, he likes to set you up with counter punches too, though. On the move around, Zoo, he's more like he tries to pressure you a little bit. So
And I think in that fight, Keith will use his legs early.
he's gonna be using his legs good.
Yeah, but then I think that that's when later in the fight is when Zoo might catch up to him.
True. But Keith Thurman might go to Turkey, come back with the Keith Thurman braids, and he might come throw some vintage shit, throw some vintage shit on.
Yo, let me tell you, Keith Thurman at the weigh-in with the blowout, staring darts into people's eyes,
Yo, yo,
is was the wave for
yo.
sure.
I remember I was at the press conference, post fight conference, where he finished knocking out this guy, and Paulie was Paulie was like this. And no, Paulie, I think it was Paulie's fight. And Keith Thurman was like, "Don't duck me, son! Don't duck me, son!" Yo, and that shit was great, man. I'm so upset we didn't get to see Paulie Malignaggi versus Keith Thurman. Oh my
Oh
god,
man,
that that
I'm gonna tell you, I'm here for all the Keith Thurman sound bites, boy.
yeah, yeah.
That dude is got the
He
one.
promotes, bro. He
He's
promotes,
the
and guess what? He really was the king of 147,
he
bro.
really was, bro.
He was the king, and he fought everybody. And if he would have never took his, if he would never got, well, God bless his marriage, but if he would never got married and took his million year vacations and stuff like that, he would have still been top guy. And Thurman versus Crawford at 47 would have been very violent. I'm talking about
Yeah,
a very fucking violent. I'm talking about Keith Thurman versus Terrence Crawford 2019 type of shit. Them motherfuckers would have been. they would have went hard, straight up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
and that's the thing, man. Like, the only one that he didn't fight, the fight that got away was the Spence fight, obviously.
yeah, I know, man. Look, bro.
But Thurman at the time, remember, he had gotten to the car accident.
No, no,
When
Spence got
they,
into the car accident. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, no, Thurman had gotten into a car
He
accident
got into a
too.
car accident too.
Yeah, yeah, he had hurt his arm or whatever. Um,
Wow, that
and
was
so
vague.
yeah, he was out for a while, and there was like just a lot of injuries and stuff, and just it just never manifested into what it could have been, you know. But you're right. At that time, yo, Thurman was the man. Look, if anybody wants to even debate that Thurman Sean
No, you
Porter
can't debate
fight,
that. You can't
that
debate that.
third that Porter Sean that Thurman Sean Porter fight, that was a fight.
That's one of the
That
best
was,
147 fights. That's top. It's top.
that was a dog fight.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. He was trying to
Yeah.
get them with them body shots, everything. It was good. It
That
was
was a
really good.
dog fight, man. I mean, that's one that you want to look back and be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You know, I do remember where I was at when I was watching that. You know, what I mean, that was a really good fight. So, yeah, I think that is going to do it, man. I got the weekend busy with WrestleMania 41 stuff for the website.
Nice.
And I'm gonna be on site for the Fundora fight at the Front Wave Arena in Oceanside. That's on the Zone tomorrow night. So I'll be there doing the live recaps for FightsATW.com. And
What's the
yeah,
date
next
for WrestleMania?
it's Saturday and Sunday
When is it?
this weekend.
Oh, it's already this weekend. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and it's in Vegas. In Vegas, I got people down there that are just kind of there, and they're like, "Yo, it's
It's already
wild right now."
crazy.
It was crazy since Monday.
What? I bought my brother tickets for WrestleMania last year.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
I
no, that's a
never, I
good
never.
time. It's a good
Man,
time.
I gotta go on them days. It's
Yeah, it's a
crazy.
good time. Matter of fact, SummerSlam is coming in your area this year in August.
For real?
It's gonna be at the MetLife.
Oh shit. Nice.
2 nights this year. So it's gonna be a
Nice.
Saturday and Sunday. So yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it should be interesting, man. Zach, between oh hold on, pleasure chopping up with y'all. Going to the dungeon. Fucking garage. Gonna lose sleep. All right, Dose, man. We appreciate you. Um, yeah, no, I'll see you tomorrow, man. Um, what was I gonna say? For tomorrow's card, what are you looking for from Charles Conwell? We're gonna end it with this. And what are you looking for from Gabriela Fondura?
You
Sweet
know,
poison,
you know, I never really liked Charles Conwell. When I first heard of him, because the first time I heard of him was,
of course.
from my guy Patrick Day, and
Rest in peace.
love Patrick Day forever. But with all of that out, Charles Conwell is a very good fighter, bro. Tough, rugged, strong, bro, strong, and he's fundamentally sound too. Throws a good jab, cuts the ring off. His defense be on point. He don't get hit too much, but he'll take one to give one though, you know. So I look for him to get a vicious knockout,
Mm,
a vicious stoppage, probably like 6 round type of stoppage. I'm talking about, and Gabriella, she's the best. I'm a fan of hers. You know what I'm saying? She's like this girl that wears glasses and stuff. And guess what? She's going in there, and I want to see her knock somebody out. You know why? Because while all these other women are arguing with each other, keep creeping your way up to becoming
uh-huh.
the top star. Okay, keep
Uh-huh.
doing what you're doing. Okay, just like Sanisa Estrada was doing, everybody was arguing. All these people, however, there was always been arguments with the females, and Sanisa was just. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm, until she just wanted to chill. Now it's Gabriella's turn. Go stop
Mm-hmm.
this girl and keep building off that.
Yeah, yeah. All right, that's what's up, man. Hey, listen, shout out to the 205 folks that are with us live today. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I know we
And we
went
did
a
it
little,
early today too,
yeah, we went a little earlier today than usual, but we appreciate you nonetheless. Zach, we're gonna shoot out of here. What you want to tell the people?
Just tune in for some great boxing this weekend, man. And for our next show, stay tuned because a lot of bigger things is coming. You know what I'm saying? And boxing, the whole plan of boxing can change in about 2 days or a day by just announcements alone or fake announcements. So, tune in. Thank you guys for always supporting us. Thank you.
Y- Yeah, and everybody on Instagram, shout out to Benny. I see you. Benny is the manager of Elvis Rodriguez, who caught a tough break with that decision loss a couple weeks ago.
Oh man.
I had him up, but those things happen, man. And so shout out to you, Benny, for joining us. Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in. We will be back likely next week for Connor Ben Eubank, if we can work it out. And just remember, follow at Zachary Ochoa on X. I'm at AbeG718 on X Instagram. FightsATW.com is the website, Fights Around the World. The YouTube page is at AbeG Boxing. Please subscribe, like, comment. We appreciate all of the support. And until next time, peace.